All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sotko here, and welcome to how to set up your own node with the one-click miner for Vertcoin. And I'll try to make this video as fast as possible, but there is a ton of stuff that goes into this. But first, I want to thank this guy right here, Jason Helms, one of my subscribers on YouTube, has his own channel. And we spent a good 2 or 3 hours on TeamSpeak trying to set this up with my computer. I ran into issue after issue after issue trying to set up a Vertcoin one-click miner and my own node. So there's plenty of tutorials online on how to set this up, but none of them do it properly. So I've scoured the internet trying to figure this out, and fortunately this guy right here helped me out. So thank you so much. Thank you for your patience. So first and foremost, of course, you're going to need the Vertcoin one-click miner program. And if you don't know how to use this program, I already made a video on how to download it and how to set it up. But in that video, I did not show you how to run your own local node. So normally, you would find nodes by just using the node scanner. But if you want, you can actually create your own node. And when you mine on your own node, you actually lose a lot less hash rate. And at the same time, you can have a whole bunch of people hop onto your node and start mining away. Now, I'm going to put my node in the description below, just in case anybody is in the Phoenix or Mesa or what have you area of Arizona, and maybe you get some good, a low latency rating, excuse me, hard to talk, it's very late. And hopefully you get a low latency rating on it and it works well for you guys. So another thing you're going to need is the Vertcoin Core wallet. As you can see, mine is currently syncing because I actually set this up on my laptop and got it all up and running, and it's now a permanent node for people to mine on. However, so you need to get the Vertcoin Core wallet. If you don't have this, it's not going to work. So grab that Vertcoin Core wallet and then let it sync. So once you install it, it will have to sync for quite some time. It has to go back a few years to gather all of that. So the first thing you need to do is set up port forwarding on your router. So what you need to do is just open up a browser like this and then type in 192.168.0.1 and you will access your router. Normally, you're going to have to sign in to your router, and a lot of people don't actually do this, so you might not know what the sign-in is or what the password is. Usually the sign-in is admin, and the password is usually password. You can actually look your router up online, whatever the serial number is or whatever the model is, and it usually tells you what the default password is. So then you want to go into firewall and port forwarding, like so. And again, every router is going to be a little bit different, so just look up how to port forward with your particular router. There's all kinds of guides online to set up your router. And I just missed one thing. I shaved off my mustache, but I'm still Shaggy for you guys, so you guys get to still call me Shaggy. So these are all the ports you're going to need to forward. So let's do one as an example here. We have 9050 to 9050. So just copy all of these. If you need to, just pause the video here and put in all of these. And put in this IP address, because we're going to set your computer up with this permanent IP address. We're actually going to make it static. So just an example here, we're going to hit add. It doesn't matter what you type. It could be gibberish. It doesn't even matter. And for example, this port here would be 9050, 9050, and you want to type both, and then we're going to put 192.168.0.11. Now, you might not have the IP address 11, and you might think, what are you doing? But just do it. 9050, 9050, and then you hit add, and you're going to do that over and over until you have all of these down. So just once again, pause the video and put in all of these just like I have it, exactly like I have it, and it should work for you. So once you have all of this done, now we need to set up a static IP address on your computer. So here's how you do it with Windows 10. If you have a different Windows, it may be a little bit different, but for the most part, Windows is all the same. So you're going to go to your control panel, just type in control panel in your Windows there, and then we're going to go to network and internet, and then we're going to go to the network sharing right here, and then we're going to go to change adapter settings, and you're going to go to your Ethernet. Now, Something very important here is that if you have Ethernet and Wi-Fi, eliminate your Wi-Fi. Otherwise, you're going to have problems with your default gateway later on. So what you're going to do is just disable this. And I'm not going to set this up completely on my PC because I already set up a node on my laptop, but it's going to be the same thing. So click disable on your Wi-Fi because you don't really want to be mining on Wi-Fi anyway. And again, you don't want to have a node running on Wi-Fi because it's going to be more latent, and the higher the latency, the more reduced hash rate you're going to have, and that's going to mean less coins, less money, less mining. So just eliminate Wi-Fi and use Ethernet. Even if it's kind of a pain, maybe you like Wi-Fi because you don't have to run the cable. If you want to run a node, do it right and do it on Ethernet. So remember, disable this, and then we're going to go to Ethernet, and we're going to hit Properties. And then we're going to scroll down, and yours might be a little bit lower. It might be somewhere else on here, but that's okay. So we're going to go to Internet Protocol version 4, and we're going to hit Properties. And then we're going to use the following IP address. But what we're going to do first is open up a command prompt. So you're going to have a command prompt here, and you can do that just by typing CMD, or you can type command, and then you're going to click on your command prompt and bring that on up. And what we're going to type is ipconfig/all. So you're going to get a whole bunch of gibberish. Very important gibberish, though. And so what you're going to do is you're going to use the following IP address. So you're going to click there, and that got rid of my command prompt. Oh my. And for your IP address, we're going to type in what we had on the port forwarding here. We're going to type in this. That's why we typed that in originally. We pulled that back up. So it's going to be 192.168.0.11. So 192.168.0.11. We can get rid of this one here. And so we still got some more to do here. I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing, got the Windows blip, and it should fill in your subnet mask automatically. Now we need the default gateway. So we're going to look at the default gateway, and the default gateway is probably going to be the same for you. It's almost always the same on any computer. It's just your router. So it's going to be 192.168.0.1. Seem to be typing all kinds of wrong. Again, it's very, very late for me, but I was kind of excited to make this video because it took me so long to make a node, and there's so much disinformation out there at the moment. And so we're going to use a DNS server. Now, we're going to use the following DNS server address, and this is important because this is why we turned off Wi-Fi, because your Wi-Fi adapters is going to interfere with this. So disable your Wi-Fi adapter before you do this. And your default, your DNS server is down here. So you have these DNS servers, and there's 3 of them. In my case, I have a primary, a secondary, and a tertiary DNS server. So what we're going to do is we're just going to type in 2 of them. We only need 2. So it's going to be 68.105, and sometimes you have to bring this up because you keep forgetting the number, .28.11. And your DNS server could be totally different. These are servers that you basically connect with your ISP, I believe. So don't just type in what I'm typing in. You actually have to do the IP config/all and then look at your own DNS servers. So there's going to be a second one here, 68.105.29. 68.105.29. Oh, skipped on me. 29. A little finicky. Dot 11. Another dot 11. And then you're going to click Validate Settings upon exit. You don't really need to, but it's good. And then you're going to click OK. Now, I'm not going to click OK because I already have an IP address. I already set up my laptop in the exact same way. So now if I hit OK here, I'm going to have a problem. Because my router is going to see 2 computers with the same exact IP address. It's not going to know where to route anything. So So I'm not going to hit OK there. So now you should be good to go with that. And so then what we're going to do is we're going to make sure all of our settings are correct with our two programs here. So now we have the Vertcoin wallet. And so you're going to hit Options. You're going to go to Network. Don't map the port using UP-NP. And do not connect with a SOCKS5 proxy. Just have Allow Incoming Connections on. And that's it with that. And now, again, my wallet is still syncing, and you need to allow your wallet to sync completely before you do this. Just sometimes it takes a few hours. It's a pretty long block index. It's very, very long. It takes a long time. So just do it overnight. You know, maybe just download the program, turn it on, let it sync overnight. Then you wake up, and you're good to go. And then click Settings on One-Click Miner here, and just show CLI, and then keep P2Pool alive, and that will just keep your pool alive. It'll just keep refreshing it, essentially. Just keep it on. And then you want to go to Network 2 and make sure that is clicked, and then put in your wallet address. So this is your wallet address. So if you go to your wallet here and you hit receive and then you request a payment, you can get a wallet address here, and you can just copy that and then paste it right there. Now this here is a fee, so if it's at 1%, those who are mining on your node, once it goes public, will pay 1% to you, to this address here. Donation is if you want to set a donation fee to the Vertcoin developers. So you can put 1% on that, or 0.5%. You can even put 0.5, stuff like that. So there you go. And the reason why we mapped some of these ports earlier, the port forwarding, is these are some of the ports. Another port is the Vertcoin wallet. Just make sure you forward all of the ports that I showed you, and you should have no problem. So now when you actually go to run local node, of course it's not going to work for me. You're going to get this twisted error. But when you go to run it for the first time, it's going to create a config file. And so that config file, let's go to my messy desktop. Very, very messy. I have so much stuff on here. So don't mind my room. This is my room. I've got socks laying all over the place, you know. I've got my Dallas Cowboys poster that's crinkled in the top. Don't mind. But anyway, so it's going to make this Vertcoin config file. And this config file is located in this directory. So what you would do is just go to this PC where your hard drive is. So just open up, you can actually open up just about any folder and do that. And it would be in C, users, your name, so whatever your computer name is. Mine is Mr. Sotko. Mr. Sotko app data, roaming, and scroll on down to Vertcoin. And it's going to have this config file here. So this config file is really important because you need it in two places, and this is what I was missing. This is what I was missing for a good couple hours. It just wouldn't work. I just could not get the server, the node, to work. And this was the reason why. It was just this very, very simple thing. So this is to be located in the app data roaming Vertcoin. So when you go to run the local node for the very first time, it will say that Vertcoin can't find the config file. Would you like to make one? So click OK, and that's where the file is going to go. Now, I have this folder here on my desktop, and when you download the Vertcoin core wallet, you're going to get it in a RAR file like this. So it's going to be on your desktop when you download it, if you download to your desktop. Some people do, some people don't. But wherever you download to, grab it, slap it on your desktop. And then create a new folder. And you can put this folder anywhere. You could put it on your slave drive if you have a storage hard drive, or whatever. So it doesn't matter. And then so slap that on in there. And then you're going to extract here. And it's going to give you these files. And so when you actually click Vertcoin Qt, that's going to load up the core wallet, and it's going to start syncing. So you've pretty much already done this at this point because you need the core wallet. So what you're going to do is in this folder that you extracted to, so you need it in the folder that has these 4 items here. You're going to take your Vertcoin config file that is in this folder. You're going to copy it, and boom, just going to slap it in there like that. I made a boom. And then you should be good to go. Now that was way easier than everybody made it out to be. If you go online, of course you're online, but if you go and you're trying to look this up, you'll get some very, very complicated setups. There was even a video, and I actually followed this video, and it's like this 10-year-old kid, and you may have watched it if you're trying to figure this out already. It's this 10-year-old kid, and he goes through this elaborate process of setting up a node. Now, the way he was doing it in that video is to set up a node without Vertcoin one-click miner. So if you have one-click miner and you follow all of his directions, it's not going to work. And he's actually making the video for one-click miner, so I'm not sure what that video is even helping. And it's a very popular video, and so he goes through this huge, elaborate, long process of downloading Python and pip and Twisted onto your computer, and it's all unnecessary if you have the Vertcoin one-click miner. I always say that. So if you follow my directions perfectly, then it should work. So now that you have all the ports forwarded, and let's say your wallet is totally synced, load up your wallet first. Make sure that wallet is all loaded up and good to go. Now I'm using wallet, 0.11. Some people have problems with 0.12, which is the latest Vertcoin Core wallet. And most people say to use the 0.11. And the 0.11 did work for me, but it wasn't just getting the 0.11. It was putting the Vertcoin config file in the launch folder, essentially, that you have your Vertcoin .exe in. So again, when you download Vertcoin Wallet, it's just going to be a RAR at first. So just make some folder. It doesn't even really matter what you name it or where you put it. In my laptop's case, if you would like to follow that exactly, I had mine in my slave drive on my wallet, which for some reason my volume is F on this computer because my DVD drive took my precious D. But either way, so I had the wallet in my F drive. But in this case, it's just on my desktop. And so when you extract it, again, you're going to get these 4. And then when you click on this, when you double click on that, it's just going to bring this up and start syncing. And just to reiterate, when you actually go to click Run Local Node for the first time, it's going to ask you to make the config file, and it's going to it's just going to make it on its own. And if it asks you where the blockchain is, then you just use the folder in which it was installed to in the roaming here, and it'll make this config file. But you need the config file in this as well. So make sure you set up that static IP as I showed you using the command prompts and such. And then you also have to set up all of these port forwarding. Now there's 6 of them or 5 of them. So it's kind of a little bit of work there, but it's worth it in the end. So make sure your settings are the exact same as mine here. Make sure these are all the same. Now, if you're on network 1, you're going to see different ports here. And you can see that the range of ports I made will cover network 1 and network 2. So if you look at network 1, it's 9171. If you look at network 2, the mining port is 9181. And so I have 9171 to 9181, which covers them all. So I hope this video helps you guys out. And I hope you guys are able to run your own node, because there's so much disinformation out there. And in a lot of the Reddits and help posts, people are saying, hey, I can't run a node. And people are just, they sort of throw really silly things out there like, hey, do you have a firewall? And they're like, no, I already mentioned that I took my firewall off. So there's a lot of unhelpful people, if you will, that are trying to help, but they mean well, but they're a little too simple. So thank you to this YouTube channel. So if you guys just want to thank me, thank Jason Helms through me, and maybe toss them a subscribe too. Let's go ahead. Boom, 13 subscribers there. I subscribed as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really hope this works for you guys. Just make sure this is synced before you try this. It absolutely has to be synced. And you have to have it running when you actually go to run your node. Otherwise, because it uses the wallet as at the same time. So you have to have them both. But I hope this video, guys, helps you. Really, really do. And as usual, I will see you guys next time.